Cheers, guys. Epix 911, welcome to the Monday, April 24th, 2017 edition of VR News. Going to start with the trailer and VR tie-in for one of my favorite franchises in science fiction, the Aliens franchise. So the latest movie had a trailer drop today, that is Alien Covenant. 2 days from now, the VR tie-in. Now, if you haven't seen this and you like science fiction, go back, watch at least the first and second movie. Second, still my favorite. Sigourney Weaver kicked so much arse in this series, but that movie alone, I mean, she was just fantastic at a time when you just didn't see a lot of that from female actors. And you ask most people at the end of that, who would you rather have watching your back? Sigourney's character Ridley or the entire squad of Marines they sent along with her? Most, if not all, would pick Ridley. And the reason for that is, other than the fact that it's probably the most ragtag and useless squadron of Marines to ever be deployed anywhere, you'd still pick her. It was just a fantastic movie. I have high hopes for the VR tie-in. I hope, action-wise, if it's along the John Wick Chronicles, that will be good, but I'm expecting more out of this. More than that, and I hope it delivers. Next news piece, Lenovo apparently has a date set, only this isn't official. This is coming from someone who is a member of Lenovo's Insiders program. It was a tweet from Ross McDougall saying that the HMD would arrive in August for $399 US and has the 1440 by 1440 that we've talked about in the past, weighs 380 grams, so heavier than I would have thought. It's going to work with the select HoloLens software and also launch with Lenovo Entertainment Hub. That's going to allow you to also play 2D games in the HMD. According to those who've tried it, though, not that great, which is a disappointment, but let's judge that for ourselves, those of you who are purchasing it. August, $399 US, the Lenovo headset. That just around the corner. Next up, GoPro, releasing a new VR camera that looks a lot less confusing than previous cameras they've launched. Now, we know that the GoPro folks have been in a lot of financial trouble as of late. And it's one of those, cases where you go from being on top of the world with a kick-ass product to almost obscurity. And that's kind of what befell GoPro. Now, not for lack of trying, but it's that confusion that I think has not helped them. They've kind of been the architects of their own demise in the sense that they've been sending out so many mixed marketing signals and definitely not helping them. So what are they trying to do this time around? Well, this time around, after making massive cuts to their VR division, they said they weren't going to kill off VR completely. They were just going to trim down to the essentials. So most of the R&D slashed. This is what they were left with. The camera that they're releasing is 360-degree capable video content up to 5.2K at 30 frames per second, and uses a stitching technique that's said to be superior to a lot of others. Now, there's a video there. It's not really a scientific example of evidence. That could come from anywhere, but if we take it at face value, yes, the content looks pretty impressive. The stitching not noticeable. It looks pretty darn good. So hopefully this is a product that helps them. I got a feeling it's a little too late, not that I want to be doom and gloom, but for their sake, hopefully it buys them at least a bit of a reprieve to continue to kind of point in the recovery direction. Next story, Digital Domain revealing new solutions for VR broadcasting and publishing. This delivered through their software and their hardware. So they have a introduced suite of hardware, and according to North American CEO Amit Chopra, in his announcement, this is what he had to say. VR experiences can transport audiences to new levels of engagement, but the process can be challenging for brands entering this new realm. We've made it much easier for our clients and partners by introducing a comprehensive suite of VR broadcast solutions that not only opens their eyes to what is possible, but also dramatically reduces the production time and expense involved in bringing new VR content, specifically 360-degree content, to consumers. And how they plan on doing this, like I said, is a twofold approach. The hardware, their camera, 4K, portable, 60 frames per second. They don't get into a lot of the other specs. I'd love to see that, to do some comparisons. And as some of you have pointed out over time, the quality of the lenses, we don't know that either. What they are saying has to do mostly with their software. So they are offering, indeed, a pretty comprehensive, impressive suite of software, all of it cloud-based, so you can pick it up anywhere with almost any device, PDF tutorials, and software that should make the whole process of not just filming, but editing the software pretty straightforward after. Next story, another VR 360-degree camera-based story, this time concerning Google. They have a new camera, and of course, we talked a week ago about Facebook's new X6 and X24 cameras. Now, not to be outdone by their rival, Google's Jump team, and that's the team that's looking into the 360-degree and camera side of things, they, are determined not to be outdone by their rivals. And they have answered back with a partnership with YIE Technologies, and jointly developed a camera they are calling the Yi Halo. Now, this thing has 17 4K Yi action cameras in a ring configuration. One of these is called the up camera, which faces the sky. In the center of the circle of cameras is where it's located. The entire rig weighs less than 8 pounds, which is pretty impressive. Definitely give it that. If you're under 10 pounds, you got to think long sustained, you're probably going to use a tripod, but in those areas where you do not, the weight's going to help. So in addition to the hardware, the Halo is also going to be able to take advantage of Google's cloud stitching technology. So another company that's opted to really go heavy on cloud distribution for its software. So to get this into the hands of more creators, Google made the following announcement. To get the cameras into hands of more filmmakers than ever before, today we are also announcing Jumpstart. Wow. Jumpstart. Super creative there, guys. Anyways, Jumpstart gives selected filmmakers both free access to a Jump camera and free unlimited use of the Jump assembler for their VR film. And over the next year, the program is going to give over 100 creators these tools and enable them to make their vision a reality. That is pretty cool. Definitely applications for Jumpstart. Start today. If you are an interested filmmaker, you want to do 360-degree content, you want in on this program, you have until May 22nd to apply. Link for that in the description below. All right, more camera stuff. This time, however, about learning how to do that filming. So there's 2 courses that are going to take place by the same company, and it has to do with an LA set of days and a San Francisco set of days. Both 2-day courses. There's a range to the pricing, specifically the San Francisco one. The LA one seems to be at the standard price with some upgrade potential. The San Francisco one offers some discounted tickets, one that they're calling the volunteer. So the regular price is $350. For $150, you can be a volunteer, which qualifies you to, basically sit on the entire tutorial sections both days, but you're expected to help configure, set up at the start, and assist with the teardown after. I think that's pretty fair. Gives you a $200 discount on that. So yes, any of you in the San Fran or LA region who are interested, filmmakers, maybe you want to get into 360, might be something to consider. I didn't see ticket prices over $400. For 2 full days, it's not actually too bad, especially the $300 and $350 ones, in my opinion. All right, next and last news piece. Another bundle, this time from Oculus, where they have put together a pretty impressive bundle. So the savings aren't fantastic, but let's talk about what you get. So you get the Rift bundle itself, you get the Touch bundle, you get 4 free games, and those games are Superhot VR, VR Sports Challenge, The Unspoken, which is a really good game, and Wilson's Heart. So you get those 4. You also get the Vivo PC from Asus. This is a $799 piece of kit. It's got 512 gigabytes of disk space. I'm assuming it's SSD. If it isn't, I would definitely put an SSD in there. 8 gigs of RAM, the GTX 1060 from NVIDIA, and this next part I like. Well, the GPU is not bad for entry level, but 4 USB 3.1 ports, 2 USB 2, 2 HDMI, and a NVIDIA G-Sync display port. So if you add up all the different components, because Oculus has their own promotion price for the Rift and Touch bundle, which is $598 US. So if you add it up that way and $799 for that Vivo PCX, you're saving $97 versus buying them separately, but then throw in the value of the game. So $97 in actual cash, maybe another $50-$60 in game value. Let's say $150 to round it up, $150 off. So if you were planning on purchasing and you were on the sidelines waiting for a sale, and I announce these whenever they come up, this might be the one to finally get you interested. You know, the games aren't too bad. Superhot VR, good game. Sports Challenge, I'm not personally a fan. Wilson's Heart, haven't had a chance to see it yet, but the 2 that I can vouch for, The Unspoken and Superhot VR, definitely worth the price of admission right there. Oh, and of course, the CPU, the big one, an Intel i5. Would have been nice to see an i7 in there, but there you go. All right, guys, that is it for the news on this Monday. As always, cheers, guys.